Hello and welcome to 1000 Word Interviews. My name is Mordecai and today I'm joined by Frank.
Hello.
Frank, thank you so much for doing this interview.
It's a pleasure.
And to get started, can you tell us a few things about yourself?
So my name is Frank. I'm 30 and I live in Adelaide, Australia.
Great. And what about for fun? What do you do? What are some of your hobbies?
So for me, I have two main hobbies. The first one is staying fit. So I go to the gym 3 to 5 times a week. So that's my first hobby. And then I'm also a language enthusiast. So in my spare time, I like to study languages or read about languages.
Yeah, fantastic. And what are some of the languages that you can speak?
So I can speak French, Spanish, Swahili, and then beginner level Italian.
Okay. And so today we're going to speak about a photo of yours that's important to you and you're part of your story. So let's get started. Okay. First question. Could you describe what we can see in this photo?
So what we're going to see here is a boat by the river. So there are people on the boat who are coming off and goods are being unloaded from the boat onto a camp, which is on the other side of the photo. And this location, this is in the Amazon rainforest in Peru. And it's near a town called Salvacion.
Okay, fantastic. So you've preempted some of my next questions, but that's okay. Where was this photo taken?
So this photo was taken in the Manu region of the Amazon rainforest, so north of Peru.
Wow. Yeah. And when was this photo taken?
This was taken probably between December 2015 and January 2016, somewhere then.
Okay. So a few years old. And there are a few people in the photo. So who are they?
Okay, so the person right at the front with the hat facing backwards, his name is Jack. He's from the UK. He's a photographer. And then in front of him is a girl from Canada. I think her name was Tracy, I think. And then next to her is a guy from the UK. His name is Patrick. And then right next to the boat is a guy called Carlos.
Okay, yeah. And it's quite small, but can we see you in the photo?
I think I'm probably out of sight near the boat.
Okay.
Yes.
But you were there.
I was there, yes.
Okay. And what was actually happening at the moment when this photo was taken?
So since we were in the jungle, we did not have our own food supplies or supplies in general. So supplies had to be brought in every month or so. So in this picture here, what you see is a boat of supplies that had just arrived. And we were unloading the supplies off the boat to take them back to camp. So that's what's happening in here.
Okay. What kind of things, what kind of supplies were they bringing in?
So it's all the supplies that we need. So it could be food, it could be solar panels, it could be scientific equipment. So just all the supplies that we needed to live on in the camp.
Okay, so everything.
Everything we needed, yes.
Wow. Okay. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the story behind this photo.
Yeah.
So first of all, yes, what were you doing in the Amazon? How did you get there?
So when I was at university, I saw a poster. Yeah. And they were advertising a program you could sign up for, where you would go to the Amazon as a volunteer and participate in scientific surveys. There was some studies that they were performing in the jungle, and yeah, they were looking for people to join. So I signed up for that, and that's the story.
Okay. And what was the experience like? How long were you actually in the Amazon?
So I was in the Amazon for 3.5 weeks. As far as the experience itself, I felt very isolated because there's a river on one side, and on the other side you've got jungle, which has its dangers. So we spent a good deal of our time in the camp, and you couldn't go anywhere else but the camp or further into the jungle. So it was a bit isolating about it. It was. With that said, it was still fun. It was still quite an experience. Like you get to see stuff you don't normally see and experiences you don't normally experience.
Yeah, wow, it does sound super isolated from the rest of the world. So how did you spend your time? What were you doing for these 3.5 weeks?
Yeah, so when we were there, our primary job, like I said before, was to participate in to carry out scientific surveys. So an example of a survey we did was an amphibian survey. So frogs are a good indicator of the condition of the environment, because certain frogs are so particular about the kind of conditions they can live in. So if you find a frog like that in the jungle. That tells you that conditions in the jungle are good enough to sustain that frog. So that's one kind of survey we did. And then other kinds of surveys would be bird surveys. We did butterfly surveys. So all kinds of surveys basically it's basically like a health check for jungle. That's basically a simple way of explaining it there.
Okay, so you were observing different kinds of animals that you could see, and from that you could decide whether that part of the forest was healthy or not so healthy.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, fantastic. And what were some of the interesting things that you saw in the Amazon?
So the Amazon itself has got thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of animal species. The most dangerous ones being the venomous snakes or jaguars. But for me, the most interesting thing I saw with my own eyes was an armadillo.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was the most interesting thing I saw. Yeah.
And what is an armadillo? I can't even, how do you describe that animal?
It's like a big rat with plating on it. That's how I'll describe it.
Yeah, that plating, that hard part, is that like the vent thing?
I'm guessing so. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So yeah,
I'll put you on the spot then.
yes.
Okay, it sounds like a very interesting place to be.
It was, yeah.
And you mentioned that you love learning languages.
Yeah.
And that's one of your favorite hobbies. So did that play any part in the journey?
Yes, because at the time I had been learning Spanish, but I had not yet practiced Spanish with anyone. I actually had conversations. So since this was in Peru and they speak Spanish in Peru, that gave me an opportunity to actually practice my Spanish and see how good I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was two in one. It was I got to volunteer and also got to practice writing Spanish.
Fantastic. And how did you find the Peruvian people? Were they encouraging, friendly?
Yes, they're pretty encouraging, pretty friendly, but it took a while to get used to their accent. Yeah. So otherwise they were nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I found South America to be extremely welcoming and encouraging with my poor Spanish. Just that. All right. Well, one final question. What's something that you're looking forward to in the future?
In the future, I think I would like to continue with my hobbies. So yes, I think I'll pick a challenging language to learn. For example, Japanese, and then hopefully within a year or two, I'll be speaking Japanese.
Wow. Well, good luck. Thank you. I think Japanese will be a great challenge. Yeah. And thanks so much for taking the time to do this interview. It's been very interesting. I've enjoyed it a lot.
I've enjoyed it awful.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching. As always, you can find all of the questions and answers below in the description, as well as a brief lesson plan for English teachers. So thank you. See you next time.
See ya.
Cheers, Frank.
No problem.